Okay, welcome everybody to PokerSesh. Hope you guys are enjoying the misfits there.
Kind of cool hands I put on my bullet points. It was actually against Harry, so if the people know who Harry is, I actually played this hand on Live the Bike several years ago against Harry. If you want me to kind of go over it, I can go over another hand.
Everybody likes to hear Harry hands. Let's hear how you played this.
Okay, so this hand was at the 5-5-5 game. So it was 5-5 blinds, but it was a $5 ante from each player.
Right.
So the game played like quite big. It was bigger than it's basically like there's $55 in dead money each hand. So it's
it played like a 20-40 no limit game, something like that.
Yeah, but it didn't quite play that big because people were still raising too small given how much dead money was in there, and they weren't defending enough. So it was actually really profitable to just open smaller because people were not making the proper adjustments of calling enough. But anyways, I had a Jack 10 of clubs, and I raised to 70 pre, and Big Harry was the only caller heads up.
Right.
And the flop was a 10-8-4 with two hearts. So I just have top pair. I have like a backdoor straight draw, but not much else. So the flop is 10-8-4, two hearts. I had Jack 10 of clubs.
Right.
The pot is 70 pre. Harry called 140 plus. So the pot's like about 180 or so. And I bet $100, and Harry check calls from out of position.
Right.
The turn is an offsuit deuce. Right. And Harry checks, and I actually bet on the smaller side here. I bet about $200 actually, and the reason why is for twofold. One, Harry will very often float out of position with absolutely nothing,
right?
And so by betting $200, it allows him to possibly check raise with. So I was planning on bet calling his check raise anyway. So this smaller bet allows me to do two things against his range. One, it allows him to possibly check raise with his pure air floats that might think I don't have a good hand because I only bet 200, and two, it allows him to keep calling with some kind of weaker hand that's weaker than my 10.
Right.
So he check calls.
Okay.
And the river is an offsuit 4, which pairs the 4. So the board fish is 10-8-4, deuce 4, and the hearts miss, and Harry checks on the river here.
Mm-hmm.
So here on the river, I'm going to just do a quick segue. So when I was an undergrad in college in economics, we studied something called Elasticity of Demand. And what that does is it looks at how does consumption, quantity consumed of a good or service change as the price of that good changes.
Right.
So the way I relate that to poker is I started kind of connecting that idea to poker. I started thinking about how does someone's calling frequency change as our bet sizes changes.
Right.
So I've played with Harry before, and I know that he's not scared of making really big calls, okay?
Right.
And so this particular hand, I know, so the problem was 10-8-4, two hearts. So we look at all the draws that missed. So basically 9-7 open-ender missed, right. Jack 9 open-ender mixed, flush draw missed. Every combo, any type of possible draw on that board, they all bricked out. And I know that Harry is not scared of calling big bets. In addition to that, after he takes the line of check, call, check, he's basically 95% of the time firmly placed his hand into one of two categories. It's either one, a draw that was played passively that's going to check fold the river,
right?
Or it's a one pair bluff catcher type hand, because if he had a top pair, two pair, or set plus, he would have either check raise flop or check raise turn because there's so many draws to get value from. So therefore, I know when he check calls, checks, he either has a draw that's check folding, or he has some kind of bluff catcher type hand that is almost always weaker than Jack 10.
Right.
So, and I know that Harry is capable of calling big. He's not intimidated or scared of calling big bets.
Right.
So a lot of 5-5 type players would just check back the river here because they're scared of something bad happening.
Right.
Those winning $30 an hour tagfish pros we just talked about, they would make the QT2T $250 bet here, okay?
Right.
But what I did was I recognized all these pieces and put them all together, and I actually bet 800 on the river.
Right.
With my Jack 10. And Harry called me with Queen 8. And Bart Hanson and Cole were actually commentating on this hand, and Bart was like kind of blown away and like loved this hand because he says his favorite type of hand is someone like just taking top pair and taking someone for 3 streets. And he actually said during the thing that he expected me to bet somewhere in the neighborhood of 400, and I actually decided to bet 800.
Right.
And it's because I'm trying to. So the thing is like, strategically speaking, when you're value betting, you're trying to represent a bluff.
Right.
And when you're bluffing, you're trying to represent a value bet. And so because so many draws bricked, I knew that Harry would place more emphasis on that board texture of all the draws being missed, more so than my bet size.
Right.
So I thought that even though like a normal bet size would be $400, I decided that if I double my bet size, his calling frequency would not drop by half.
Right.
So the higher EV bet would be the higher of the two numbers. So I bet 800 and I got called, and it was pretty cool, you know?
So the larger bet actually put more bluffs in your range.
Exactly.
Ah, very interesting hand.